Masandawana fan vlog season review. I don't know whether to start on my left or my right, but in the middle is the way.
Please let's not start.
That on the right.
Please let's not start.
Let me start on my left. On my left is the vlog merchant, Twitter merchant, Claude.
Father to be.
Father to be. And then we also have Miss Maronaldo Leratom Kondo. Welcome.
Thank you.
There's the first vlog appearance. It was supposed to be somewhere in Cape Town, but she didn't know it from us.
No, I did not. You guys sound
We can confirm she signed membership forms.
Yeah, and okay, no one cares about me. And then to my right, it's a person we like to call Taji, a Twitter hooligan, but very nice.
But a top gent.
A top gent in person. As you can see, very harmless. And today the best team in Europe is playing, so you'll forgive him for this for this jersey. But at least you can see it's an April mention today.
Definitely.
So it's Como.
Don't do work.
Whether you call him Como or Sive or Taji, but this is the man. And then on the right is Madreds. I call him Homolimo. I don't know why other people call him Homolimo as well, because you guys know him as Neo. Neo Molefe _SA. And the SA is not for South Africa. Remember that.
Hi guys.
It's a story for another day. Yeah, and for a change, I like the fact that the vlog editor and director is in the shot today.
Yeah. He exists.
You only see him when we review and preview our seasons. So yeah, guys, let's get into it. We're no longer wasting time. Season 2018-2019 is done. The title went where it's supposed to go.
Yes, definitely.
But before the title went where it's supposed to go,
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that. Before that, your team signed players.
A lot.
So we're reviewing everything from because you know we barely have an off season. We'll start somewhere around June, July. So, but I think July works best.
Yeah.
Because there was a Champions League. You know, he kept saying, that man, Jingles kept saying, yeah, when you play 2 Champions League seasons in one PSL season.
Yeah.
So the one that overlapped and that was played so that we played the compressed one that was won yesterday in difficult conditions. Let's start with our signings. I don't know where to start. I introduced names this way, so we'll start this way. Before we get into our signings, let me mention them. We signed Andile Jali. We signed Mabowe, we signed Libusa, we signed Lalake, we signed Red Pitese, we signed Jose Alimeza. Jose Alimeza was our first signing, eh?
Yes.
Because
we signed him 1st of July.
1st of July, yes. We signed Pagamani Mashambi last, but I put this other name last for other reasons. We signed Tony Silva as well.
Who was sitting there when we were discussing
Yes.
that video that got deleted.
That got deleted, yes. So here we go, guys. We did all these signings, and I'm gonna ask you guys to after we get into what we're gonna get into now, I'm gonna ask you guys to rate our signings from best to worst.
Okay.
So before that, something you guys wanna say about our signings?
Right.
This is it.
Who we start? Jose Alimeza, because it was our first signing. Look, man, with Alimeza, it was we expected something close. While I was preparing for this preview and I was comparing the two, Cirino convinced us in the first 3 games he played. This is a Sundowns player. Yeah, in the first game.
First game against Sundowns.
This is a Sundowns player. Alimeza had 13 appearances this season, and only 2 of them he started. Like, it means something is not working. He's for me, he's the when we rank them, he's the 3rd.
But we're not ranking them yet.
No, I'm saying future. He's the 3rd dad after the other 2.
After the other
And
two.
then, with Tony Silva, the less said the better.
Yeah.
The less said the
Yeah,
better. 24 years, 9 teams.
Yeah, I think that says it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much. I think for me it was one of the biggest flops that has come.
And who's that?
Silva.
Oh, okay.
Silva was a mess.
Especially after that controversial.
It was a royal mess when it came to that, because in terms of playing, he has the ability. It's just that it's the stuff between the ears that I was hoping that it could be sorted out, because the guy can play, but unfortunately it just didn't work out in the manner that we all had hoped it would. I mean, he had more time to get used to us. I mean, came in earlier. like almost when the last season was ending, like May. So you would have had enough time pre-season, and you should have hit the road running, showed glimpses of what you could do, but really was not convincing. I mean, he never looked like he really wanted to do this. He was almost playing at a three-quarter pace at best, and it just didn't work out. And well, it's good riddance there.
I'll come to you after I go to Tuto because there's something interesting I want you to touch on Tuto, our signings.
I don't know what that is. I'm going to go from here to here. From those two, you mentioned those two other guys, to Masandawana. What a signing. We took him from a relegated IS Cape Town to semi-finals of the Champions League.
Semi-finals of MTN 8.
Well, what a player. I'm sad he's not going to Egypt. I thought alongside Nascimento, maybe I'm biased. I am Leonardo should tell us if we're biased. Alongside Masandawana and a couple of Nascimento and a couple of other people, I thought he was right up there. In terms of the whole league, he was right up there as defender of the season. Top 3, top 5. But for me, Masandawana.
Yeah. Leonardo, I said I wanted to come to you last because you are the neutral here. We are also those supporters. We are emotional. So please balance it out for me. All our signings, what do you have to say about them?
No, they were all brilliant. They contributed.
All?
Well, with the exception of that, and obviously with Ujali, who has not made an impact. He hasn't really delivered to what most of Masandawana supporters expected from him. And then Umabuwe, I think he instantly adapted at the club, and he was nominated for the award. So yeah.
Okay, guys. In all the signings that we've had, let's go from best to worst. I'll give you my best to worst. One best. I have Lebohang Maboe. None, it's not up for debate. You guys will all have yours.
That's done.
My best to worst. Best, Lebohang Maboe came from a Maritzburg team that was fighting relegation this season. Did well last season. People had spoken about the team, the coach to be the coach of the season, Ndlovu to be the player of the season and whatnot. Came to Sundowns. Peter said it, like Maboe came from a team where he played 30 games and an odd cup game here and there. Came to Sundowns, played 45 games, contributed to 17 goals with 9 goals and 8 assists. Second best, Masandawana. The less said about him, the better, man. I mean, Tuchel has already told you he should be going to Egypt. And then number 3 for me is Laila K. He's been one of the most consistent players. I'm not gonna say like performances, but in terms of play time, Laila K played the most.
He played 26 league games. Is it 26?
Yeah. In total, he played 43 games.
Is it not 42? 43 in total. Across all competitions. Had 3 assists.
Yeah, 3 assists.
One goal in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And that assist, go
FNB.
which was actually supposed to be his goal.
In fact, 2 of his assists were to
Maboe. Yes.
Maboe's first goal in Polokwane.
Yes. Yeah. Fourth, Paramani Mahlambi.
Yeah.
I would have. It was a toss-up between him and Lyle because he scored the goal that won the title.
True.
But I'm gonna have him at fourth because he played less games than I would have expected him to play, and
his start goal ratio
is crazy.
He started 9 games and he scored 6 goals.
6 goals.
Yeah.
But he didn't play enough games.
Yeah.
And now there's things about him in the news. Did he do something? Did he not do it? And it also begs the question, why was he in the stands for most of the time? So it's up for debate. Fifth, I had Andile Jali. For me, a disappointment in terms of the amount of games he played. I expected Jali to play more. We expected Trompo to rest. But Trompo actually went on to play most games for Sundowns this season. And I expected him to play. And the game he got injured in against Pirates, I was so disappointed because I felt like he was going to give us something and it looked like he was up for it but got injured very early. And then sixth, I have... and this one gets tricky now. I have Riet Petersen. Riet Petersen in the cup games that he played in Polokwane, and he's probably the one goalkeeper no one wants to see on the bench or in the starting lineup.
Yep.
When I go to what I've been seeing people talk about, like the way they were talking about him on social media, how people talked about him on the vlog, I have him there,
in order of, can I have a suggestion? At 6, I put Emiliano Tade instead of Red Peters because Emiliano.
No.
Higher.
Higher.
You know, the tricky part is that when we were talking about this is that we were going to talk about him when we talk January because he was a January signing.
Yeah, true.
I'm talking about people who had like the
whole season
for Sundowns. Yes.
Alright.
No, I have Tade somewhere down there, but
okay.
when we
Tade
discuss
is
January,
yeah.
yes, because that's where I think that the title push like had a
Yeah.
So for the guys who started, I'll have Red Peters as 6th. And then 7th, I have Ali Meza.
Yep.
And then 8th, Tony Silva.
And then in 8th, I have Tony Silva for obvious reasons. So I gave you my best to
Just
worst.
for team day.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Honestly speaking, I think there isn't much to argue about.
Yeah, there's not much to argue about.
Wait, so you guys are agreeing with my best to worst?
We have
Yeah.
a consensus.
But
It's how everybody's one.
Basically,
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Yeah. So we agree that Mabue is our best
Even
signing
the
for the
points that
season.
you've
By-
made,
by- I
relevant
think-
to
I
what
think
we're
by
going to
far.
contribute in
Yeah,
terms
by
of
far.
Yeah.
yeah.
But by far, boy, comparing to Musa Libusa.
But in terms of the number of games played,
Yeah.
and in terms of input and output, you know,
Yeah.
what we got out, what Pito managed to get out of that ball.
I don't remember. And remember when we played the Shell Helix Cup in the presser, what he said? He said there's a boy. His team plays in blue colors.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention his name because you know when I mention names, the price goes higher by a million. He said that boy must come here and score goals.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, if you backtrack into the Maritzburg season, how many goals did Mabue have? And how many games did he play?
Yeah.
4,
3 or 4.
Yeah. Somewhere.
3 or 4 goals last season.
And then you come to Sundowns where every signing we've had since 2012, you are ruining your career, you're not gonna play. There's always stories. This boy came here and played 43 games. And is our Peter said there's a boy who's 23 must come here and score goals. And he's our league top
The
scorer.
Juventus game is
Delivered
like
just
within
that.
24, 48 hours of arriving.
Yep. And he scored a goal in his second game.
So he came to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about the other guys like Tony Silva and Ali Meza who had been with us through the whole preseason. That a guy that arrived that late.
Oh yeah, Mabue didn't even have a
He
preseason.
never played with us.
Yeah.
Him and Musa,
Yeah.
remember we announced them on the same
And
day.
Riyadh, we announced them. They arrived in training.
Yes, in training. It was like midweek.
Yeah.
It was a midweek.
No, it was Friday.
Friday.
They arrived on the 3rd of August and we
Yes.
opened the season on the 4th.
See.
Yeah.
But Mike, can I quickly say something? He's not ranked last, but my biggest disappointment is Andile Jali. I thought Andile Jali, a fit Andile Jali is probably the best midfield in the country,
Yep.
in the PSL.
Yep.
I thought he would come here and dominate teams along with Trompo. I thought he would come in.
Dominate your Maritzburg, dominate
I
your.
thought he would come here and start more games than Trompo. I thought he would come here and be up there for contender for football of the season.
But where was his fitness levels too?
After,
He hadn't played in
He
normal
hasn't
games.
played where he comes
He hadn't
from.
played.
Long
I-
time ago. It
For
was-
6 months. Then.
But
I
also,
get you
it doesn't just
understand. We've got probably the best
fitness trainer, conditioning trainer.
conditioning people
Yeah.
in probably on the continent.
Yeah.
If you wanted to,
In the world,
yeah.
And look at the disappointment here is the difference in the number of games between
Yeah.
him and Trump.
Yeah.
And
He
the
played 16,
Yeah.
Trump played 50. It's about 30 something games difference.
And not
look
16
at-
starts.
Not 16 starts, no,
Games.
16 games.
Mm.
Some as a substitution. It's the difference. For me, the disappointment there is the difference in start. I mean, Trump is 4-5 years older than Andile Jali, and he's still playing 50 games, and you come and you play.
Under 20.
So guys, when Peter kept saying we have to address the elephant in the room when it comes to people like Andile Jali. When Peter kept saying at Sundowns you have to live right. At Sundowns, when I can call Tapelo now, that one he sleeps. He
Yeah.
knows that resting is part of training at Sundowns.
You know what he said the other day?
Yeah.
The Sundown system, it will reject you.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. For me, that's what it did to Andile Jali.
Mm.
It rejected him.
So do you think those type of words were directed to Andile Jali? Lerato?
I'd like to think so, considering his off-the-field behavior and stuff like that, and all the controversy that's been going on in his private life, and constantly being on the wrong side of things. And you know, so when it comes to discipline and stuff like that, he doesn't.
And being on the wrong side of headlines.
But-
Because
Yeah.
we'd rather have you in the back pages than in the front
The
pages.
front pages,
Mm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
to brand of Mamelodi Sundowns to protect the players. Pitso has to do what he has to do. Andile Jali, it just kept getting worse for Andile Jali. More on the front page, less on the back page, which he's actually supposed to do.
The G, sorry now. The G, do teams in Europe have breathalyzers?
Actually, no, they don't have to. But in terms, they take it quite serious in terms of your off-field activities. Look, footballers are generally well paid, and they are really they are young boys, young men, and they do a lot of stuff. I mean, so a player getting out on a night out, getting drunk, and then getting up to no good is not something that doesn't happen. But it's a question of how often does it happen, and does it affect how you do your work? And I mean the examples. I mean, a lot of players right now in the English Premiership were not allowed to drive cars.
You gave me that example 2 days ago when we spoke on the phone. You said Roberto Firmino has a ban, a driving ban now because he was drunk driving, but you wouldn't say that when he's playing.
No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. Exactly.
Exactly.
Why? Because you can't allow it to affect how you do your job. Right?
Yeah.
But we do understand that you, a young man, you're gonna go out and you're gonna do something. The issue then becomes when it affects you. Because even the Sundowns, there are a lot of guys who will have a good time, but it doesn't affect what they do. That's where the issue is for me. For a guy his age, he's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
You ought to know, right? You ought to know the fact that if I'm going to go and do this, it shouldn't affect how I do my job.
And talking of Andile Jali, I was looking at his stats and how his career has panned out so far. Andile Jali has been one of those players that we should actually be using as a blueprint of how we develop our players. Because if you look at it, Andile Jali went from a
Under 20.
NFD team that upset Chiefs. Like that's like your typical football stories. Like you upset the big guns, you go on to an FA Cup final. Our version is the Nedbank Cup, and then you get signed by one of the big three in the country. You go there. Andile Jali was in the provisional squad for. Before he was in the under 20 World Cup. He played there. He was in the provisional squad of the 2010 World Cup with the senior team. So it's not like he's a.
And Bito believed in Andile Jali. I remember in an interview when we were about to sign him, he was on that team, already at 19 years of age.
Yeah.
Military stadium in Egypt. Put him there in the middle.
Yeah.
That's his soldier, and I feel like he let him down.
Yeah, and I think he
Big
also
time.
brought him
Big time.
to play in Africa because he's done it before. And Andile Jali he was part of a Paris team that beat an Al Ahly team that had your Aboutrikas, Ahmed Fati, Wangoma. Like those were big boys. Like those were. If you talk about African football royalty, you can never not mention Aboutrikas of the world. And Andile Jali was part of a team that bossed that team home and away. So I mean, like, why wouldn't you sign a team like that if you wanna do well on the continent?
I think in the next month or so, he has some deep soul session. Because basically, the enemy is within. It is not something.
One more season. Must give him one more season.
Yeah, one more season. I think in between now and the 17th of June, he really has to dig deep, search, and find within himself and decide whether he wants to play or he wants to continue doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to sustain him at Sundowns.
And
You don't have room for that.
another thing is that Andile Jali is a Bafana player and he's about to miss AFCON because of the season he had. That, for me, should be motivation enough for him to say, okay, let me put the other stuff aside. I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this 100%. This football thing, 100%.
Yeah. Oh yes. So we're gonna go through our Champions League campaign from AS Togo up until, like, we're gonna discuss from that until September, and we have a substitution happening here now. Kutla and Combo are taking a break, and we have the Twitter mentioned, as you know him, Mokhara over King. So yeah, we have Obi and we have whether you call him Mpo or Peter, it doesn't matter. Yeah, his Twitter name is Peter. And yeah, the fellas are joining us for this next segment that we're going to talk about. And this one, gents, it's where the season began. So we had that Champions League season where we couldn't break out of the group stages, and I can't talk or think about that Champions League campaign and not talk about Horoya, guys?
Sure.
Yeah, I remember that evening in Atteridgeville. I mean, we started well. I thought, okay, even before the game, the final game, Pizzo said, look, they're coming to Atteridgeville. You can't. We are definitely going to win. Pizzo was very confident that we were actually going to get a result. But obviously, it never went our way. I mean, we had attacks. I remember there was a chance that Zwane missed. That was like an open net, and that's when I knew. That summed up our game basically.
Yeah.
I knew right there and then that we were not getting out of the group stage. It was disappointing, but at the end of the day, I knew that the format of the Champions League had changed, so we were jumping straight into another Champions League. So it didn't really pain me as much because I knew we were going back there to compete. So yeah, it was at the same time the PSL season was starting at that time. So we had a lot to go. Like we said, we never really rested, and there were players coming in. So you know, it was sad, but yeah, we still carried on. So the Royal match stands out because it was really painful for us to take, especially after the team that we had assembled. We had already sort of like told ourselves that we're not a team that ends in the group stages. It's better to lose in the knockout stages like we did at Vader on penalties. So we expected us to go to the next round, but it never did happen.
Yeah, Obi,
Yes.
before we played the Horoya game at home, there was the 2 games against AS Togo and Horoya away. I think one of them was probably one of the worst games we could have played. When we played, was it Horoya or AS Togo?
No, it was Port Togo.
It was Port
The 2-1.
It was Togo,
Yeah.
ne?
No, away, we lost
Away,
1-0.
yes.
Look, you see, the away loss in Togo, you know, in some groups, there are certain matches that you sort of think at least the worst that could happen is a draw. And that was the Togo away match. For us, you know, going there, and we had assembled a new team, so the excitement was, I think it was our first game.
Yeah,
coming.
because Jali started that game.
Yes.
I was about to say you were excited, but you guys were trolling Jali. We didn't see some cover.
You know,
we were excited with the new signings, and also people were anxious because we just lost Pesitao, we just lost Kamapi.
Yeah.
So you're sort of saying, let us send a statement out for, you know, PSL teams for ourselves. And that match was so bad that, you know, when 85 you just switch off. You just leave. I didn't finish that match because you could see nothing was happening. We're not even creating chances that much, clear-cut chances in a match where you're supposed to be, you know, dominating everything. And that's where the nerves started happening. Now you had wondered, is this going to be a trend throughout the season? Are we going to replace, you know, the Dao and the Kamapilat factor?
Yeah.
And I think that match,
But we were
Really
sucker
paid
punched. The goal they scored was just a sucker
penalty.
punch.
Yeah.
I remember, I think after the game, there wasn't a word, a bad word in the dictionary. I didn't call Togo. I just called
I remember. So was that and
that game was so frustrating.
Yeah.
But my highlight of that, those 2 back-to-back clashes against AS Togo was Serino and Villa masterclass in Atteridgeville.
Oh. I
Remember that game?
Yes. When Villa scored with the.
With the hill,
Yeah.
and then we composed that song in the stands. Remember that game? We were like, okay, always now we are okay.
yeah.
No. We just composed them, but in the opening game.
After the opening game.
Yeah.
And then after those 2 games, after those 2 Champions League games, because we won 1, we lost one.
Yes.
And then straight after that, Kana Peter code straight from the fire into the
and another thing was the tweet. I don't think I've gotten a tweet retweeted and quote replied to than the you must be out of your goddamn mind if you Horoya will come out of a tree. And Connor Mawunda is at the street alive.
Literally, did we know?
Literally did we know? Like I was like, I'm not deleting this tweet. I don't care.
No, we were overconfident, to be honest. The Horoya match was like a foregone conclusion. We had thought, okay, we just need to win our game and then we
got this.
Yeah.
And yeah, hey, we left very painful.
And it was late.
It was late.
Very late. Yeah.
and then the league started.
And then the league started.
Big game.
4 August. I had never seen anything like that. Like
Can I tell you guys a story? I called Kenzani when this thing was confirmed that we're starting against Chiefs. Alright, boy. What was that? We won. Nagasi go Chiefs.
You know, guys, if there's a fixture I dread in the Absa Premiership calendar, whether they are fighting, if they were to be fighting relegation, I would dread playing Chiefs. There's one team I dread playing. The one fixture, when the fixture gets released, the first fixture I look at. No, the first fixture I look for when we play Pirates. Like the Pirates one, like I look forward to it. The Chiefs one, guys, oh my god.
You just like this people you understand. That's your problem.
I don't want to play against that team, but on the 4th of August we played against that team. Come billiard, first game of the season, you play against your
former
team.
I've never seen some
Officials.
That team had 4 players from our old squad.
Yeah,
We had
Rama,
Castro.
And Ramos scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lerado, tell me about how did you view the first game of the season? Sundowns versus Chiefs at Loftus.
There was a lot that was expected, obviously, from that game. Like you mentioned, Kamabiliat, Castro and whatnot, and where else Ramos scored. And probably most Sundowns fans were looking at how the former players are going to do in that game.
And Castro and Kamoe kicked well that day. Yeah.
So yeah, but it was a brilliant game. Konje ifedile ka score
1-1.
1-1,
yeah.
which was the best score for both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, because Sundowns were gonna be bragging all the way. Like come up, but yeah.
You know, even after the famous "What did he do?"
Oh yeah.
Was it before?
It was
No.
It came after. Yeah, it came after that.
Like I think there was, you could feel that there was tensions even between us and Billiard, the way he left, and everything else.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, ever since those back-to-back 3-1s, we've never really been trapping Chiefs convincingly that much.
Yeah.
I think even with Compella, it will be those 1-1, the odd.
No, he got
one
resulted
negative.
Loftus in some
Compella, yeah.
Exactly.
The one Parker turned to
Parker
Madisha like a pretzel.
Madisha made Parker look like, you know, a 24-year-old who's just And that match also, I think the way they started Chiefs, they were on top of us. Billiard, you know.
In the end, they had a good game that day.
Yes. And the nerves were like, is this gonna be a match where these guys come in Loftus and get us out?
Yeah.
Nascimento, I think the cool come and collected. There was a chance Morana had at the end.
In
7 minutes.
Yes, I remember. And the one Brookie had.
The one. That's Morana chance to steal the match, go home, but couldn't be.
Yeah, and when you look at how Chiefs scored the game now, the goal, Serino had the ball.
It sums up
Lost it,
that goal.
then
That goal sums up Serino's season for me. He could frustrate you, not like that, like be so casual and lose the ball and Air Costa, and then next thing, brilliant moment.
Brilliant game.
That sums up Serino's season for me, and that's why I think there's a debate whether he's an elite player or he's not because of what happened in that game. Because after that, he was on top of Chiefs. Like I remember even that curler.
Yeah,
he did it
I
against
remember.
Chiefs. He tried it against Chiefs first, it didn't work out. Then he did it against Free State Stars on his weaker foot.
Yeah, but for me now, when you say it sums up Serino for you, I think you see this season. But when you look at the games Serino didn't play, you can see that we needed Serino.
Yeah, it's about that missing link that we did.
Remember when Peter talked about I need 3 number 10s.
Yeah.
I need someone to occupy the grey areas. And I don't think there's games that we played that sum up what Pito said than the Al Ahly 5-0 game. And then with that game we went 2-1 with that Mshishi 10 out of 10 performance. The grey areas were properly occupied that day. Yeah. So okay, we'll get to the Serino topic. We also need to tackle other things that happened. We played MTN 8. And
The pre-season MTN8 is a pre-season.
No, it is not.
no, guys, we don't have
It
time for
is
that. We don't
not.
have time for that. That's
I saw that meme doing the rounds with Julius Malema that you guys tell. Found that very funny.
yeah. But we played
Crocodiles.
we played MTN8. We played Arrows. It was a good game.
Villa Master. You know when I was looking at those
but
games,
yes.
I
Yeah.
remember how important Villa was in this first quarter of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
We played in midfield against Arrows, 10 out of 10 performance. Against AS Port Togo, 10 out of 10 performance. Like even in, I can't remember what was the other game I was looking at, but I forgot it. But
There was one he played just with in front of Keka.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
Yeah.
was like,
I think
Yeah, but the Arrows match, he bossed the game.
He really busted.
Took us to the semi-final.
And then we got to the semi-finals, and then we played the newer guys.
Well, wrong.
the Amazulu equalizer I was thinking of.
Yes.
Amazulu,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think for me, the City match, even the
Which one, the first one or the
unfortunate-
second?
Both were
Oh, yeah?
unfortunate with referee decisions. in
Yeah,
the
the first one.
The first one.
And she
especially.
always unfortunate with referee decision. But anyway.
But was that not an offside goal in Cape Town? Was Patosi not offside?
Clear, but
But
guys.
Okay, when it's Sunhouse, there has to be a but.
But anyway,
And then-
we move on because it's preseason.
Yeah,
cup.
Yeah, it's a preseason
Now,
cup.
but let's not forget Tunisia bottled the one opportunity.
But it can't be left out
Second-
because Sundowns always lose out on important points because of referees.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and when you guys talk like Vele, Giba, Sundowns
Yeah.
and whatnot.
But I think what we can say is the MTN8 is a preseason cup.
Yeah, but
So it was okay.
Yeah, we let ourselves down in the second leg. To be honest, that game shouldn't have even gone to penalties.
Yeah.
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 It's the story of the PSL. Missed chances, like it was crazy. It was crazy because we would have made the final easily, but we missed chances and.
Yeah.
Let's not talk
punishments.
about Peter saying that in that penalty.